Hello friends, Kiso here. Please welcome to part 8 of this 9-part series about the life of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. In the last chapter, we discussed 1. Jesus' enemies, 2. Jesus' antagonists, 3. The Last Supper, and 4. The betrayal of Jesus Christ. In this 8th chapter, we will continue and discuss 1. The arrest of Jesus Christ, 2. The trial of Jesus Christ, 3. The crucifixion, and 4. The resurrection of Jesus Christ. It is again very relevant to remind listeners of the great importance of the life of Jesus Christ on earth. Please listen objectively as we'll explore his life. We will forever give jubilant thanks to God the Father for his great love and mercy for sending his Son for our salvation. Now we go on to the first topic in this chapter. Jesus was arrested under false pretenses. Trumped-up charges were brought against him, and there were so many false witnesses. There were those who came out and testified that Jesus said something he never said, or that he did something he never did. They said things about Jesus which they never heard directly from him or witnessed him say or do. Jesus was pointed out by one of his disciples, Judas, who, through some unfulfilled hopes, grew angry enough to betray his master. So Jesus was arrested and taken to Pontius Pilate. Jesus was brought before Pilate with charges which were false and trumped up. The allegations made against him were preposterous, and not even Pilate believed any of these charges. Jesus, who was well known in the community, was suddenly meant to be a criminal? It did not make any sense. Jesus, who was a pillar of society with good works, miracles, and great works amongst the people, was suddenly arrested and brought to trial on false pretenses and ridiculous charges. The case against Jesus failed and was about to be thrown out until Pontius Pilate himself was threatened that if he released Jesus, then he was not a friend of Rome. That subtle threat and the fact that Pilate was afraid of his own position allowed him to relent and allowed injustice to reign. To preserve his own position, he allowed an innocent person to be arrested and killed. This is the greatest travesty of justice ever known, especially as Jesus was completely sinless and guiltless. It was a sham trial, nothing more. After the sham trial and lies and false witnessing and betrayals, Jesus was led to Golgotha for the crucifixion. Jesus was killed in the way used by the authorities to execute people in those days, which was by crucifixion. After Jesus had yielded his last breath, the curtain that concealed the Holy of Holies was torn in two, and there were earthquakes and darkness over Golgotha. Why was this the case? Why was there darkness when it was midday? And where were there earthquakes? If the death of Jesus was to be the reconciliation of mankind with God, then why these ominous changes in nature? The answer is simple. The death of Jesus was not sanctioned by God, but was a crime committed by humanity against the Son of God. This was a crime committed by those who envied and hated him for bringing enlightenment to the common man and to mankind in general. The earthly religious leaders planned this murder and carried it out. The death of Jesus does not wash away the sins of man, but his word will, if adhered to. It is this word that matters. After 3 days, Jesus was apparently seen again by some of his disciples. The details are not very clear, But what we know is that Jesus was not recognized by anyone after he had arisen. He was not recognized by any of his disciples. He walked for quite a while on the way to Emmaus with disciples without them knowing who they were talking to. Now, why was this the case? Jesus, for those who knew him, will have been immediately recognizable. He was even now able to get into rooms without opening doors, something he never did before the crucifixion. The explanation for this is very simple. Jesus appeared to his disciples in a transfigured body. He appeared to them in his final ethereal body, hence the fact that they could not recognize him at once, because now he was in a different body. He was no longer with his physical body. He was also able to enter into rooms without needing to open doors because his body, now being finer, was able to do this. Thank you again for listening. In the next and final chapter, we will explore 1. On the road to Emmaus, 2. The promises of Jesus and the Spirit of Truth, and 3. The ascension of Jesus. For more information, please go to the websites jesuslifeevents.com or spiritualknowledge.org or thegrailmessage.info or grailmessage.com. You can also go to the Facebook page Introduction to the Grail Message. Thank you. See you then. Bye-bye.